Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm really going to try and get through a Twin Flame forecast for everybody for the week ahead. I've really been struggling. I've really been going within, rethinking everything. I've kind of been forced to go within and rethink everything with this throat chakra block, and I was shown it is a direct link to the masculines that do have some truth to speak but have chosen to stay silent. And so in essence, they're living a lie. And so I do feel many of the masculines are being pushed to step into their truth, to speak the truth that they do have to say, and to stop being silent. And so I know we have some powerful energy shifts going on this week. We have Mercury going direct on the 18th. We also have Uranus stationing direct on the 22nd. And so these energies are indicative of forward movement. Retrograde energies are always to refocus, rethink, reassess. We are now feeling our energy reserves kind of be replenished with Mars now moving forward, although it's still going to be in the post-shadow period for quite a while. And so I really wanted to share with you some of the rethinking that I've been going through when it comes to the Twin Flame journey. I feel like I haven't been on in forever. We're heading into the third week of January already, and I think the last video I posted was on December the 19th. And so I was really put through a lot of challenges at the end of December after we all kind of recovered from that virus we had. My little one got really, really sick again on her birthday into the holidays. And so it really was a time of rethinking my entire situation, my entire journey, my future, my own perspective on who I am, what I'm capable of. I surely did learn that I am capable of overcoming these challenges on my own. I've come into a lot of truth and awareness when it comes to my own twin flame journey, my own personal identity, my capabilities. And it was this period of time where I was kind of deep in the underworld. It did feel like death energy. It kind of felt like another layer of dark night of the soul. And in the darkness is where we kind of open up to these higher states for long-term positive changes. And so there's a lot of process that's kind of been happening. And I also feel that's why I was completely pulled away from the journey and pulled away from the collective, so we could all kind of go within to go through this very unstable, confusing time to master this energy of less resistance, to release resistance. And so Spirit was really saying, hey, it's really time to purge, to cleanse, to go within, to get ready to set those new intentions, to establish what it is we truly desire for the future, so we can release all of this heavy resistance to the journey to union. And so I know I've been having all kinds of vivid, strange dreams the last couple of weeks. And so a lot of twins purge their old systems, their old program beliefs, and we recalibrate these shifts in dream space. A lot of us go through this clearing in dream space because so many issues in the connection can be especially hard to deal with. And so it is easier for us to clear these subconscious programs in dream state. And so I do feel we're all being asked to look at where we have shut out acceptance in our lives. Where have you turned your back to receiving support? I also feel we've really had to sit with some past situations over the last couple weeks to understand our own separation programming in our mind, and where we have continued to feed these conflicting experiences in order to transcend. And we do this by transcending these lower emotions. And in order to transcend the lower emotions, we do have to purge them, right? So we can see things a little bit more logically. And so we can easily detach from the hurt and the pain and step into our gifts of service when it comes to moving forward in love and unity. And so what was really being encouraged by my guides over the last several weeks was encouraging forgiveness. I recently allowed my ex-partner that I have kids with to come back in the picture for both of the girls' birthdays and Christmas, and that sourly blew up in my face because there was still unresolved issues that it is quite clear he's just not capable of addressing, talking about, and dealing with. And so I really had to look beyond his ego to try and see the best of what this lesson was bringing forward. And so recognizing why the negativity is there, why it is still coming back in, why the lesson is coming back again. And I do feel I got a clear look at who he truly is. And so there was another layer of forgiveness that kind of had to come through. With Mars going direct, I do feel it's going to be easy to make decisions, to act on these decisions. And like I said, our energy levels are improving. Our motivation is improving. And so we're not quite finished with all of these karmic themes that have been coming up over the last several months. But I do feel we're shifting into positive developments. We're shifting into forward momentum. And we're looking at the past with these fresh new eyes. And so when we see the lesson, when we learn the lesson, when we finally get to a place of acceptance and understanding as to why things had to happen the way that they did, then we can open up to the higher version of the path forward. And so a lot of us go through these patterns very unconsciously, and we kind of operate on autopilot, right? Our subconscious mind is autopilot all the time. And so when we awaken, we see things differently, and then we have to reprogram that autopilot. And a big message that came through is don't give up. Don't give up on the journey. Don't give up on your counterpart. I know I really was feeling very down, feeling like giving up on this journey, on the counterpart. And what my guides were very clear about is no. Do not make rash decisions, especially when it comes to love. What the energies are pushing us to do is to center in the heart. Because in the heart is where we will discover what it is we really want. This is what will bring satisfaction into our lives. And this is our deepest soul self, is in the heart. And so I feel all of these energies over the holidays have rattled many of us to show us what is not guided for our journey and what truly is not bringing us fulfillment, which in turn I feel has brought forward a lot of disruptions, especially in romantic relationships, a lot of unpleasant endings and surprises and challenges and disruptions and towers, in order to get us all to ask ourselves, how do we figure into this newfound perspective, right? And so a lot of hiccups. I know for myself, it was like delay, challenges, blocks, a lot of hiccups. And so really, they're not problems to be solved, but it's like this lighthouse or this signpost to say, hey, you're being guided away from non-serving decisions, non-serving choices. You need to be true to love. You need to be true to yourself, to these twin soul memories that have been entering into our life. And so I do feel we're all being asked, like, to go within. What is it that you want to manifest? So come January 2024, you're in an amazing place. You're in an amazing relationship, situationship, or whatever. What do you want to come from this year, especially when it comes to the twin flame connection and what we haven't been able to manifest yet, because we're being asked to emerge from these energies with more love in our heart, more harmony with our inner masculine and feminine energies, and more light. So we can come together in a happy union. And so with Aquarius season starting this week, Venus is already in Aquarius. It is this energy of interdependent connections, a detached sense with love in there. And so we've been feeling this for a while, that this new beginning is coming, that this new beginning is imminent. So what we're needing to do right now is to take hold and be in charge of our perspectives, to keep focused on our desires, not to focus on what it is we don't want. Because when we focus on what we desire, it's easier to bring that in. When we're focusing on something we don't want, then we're just reaffirming that toxic cycle to keep coming back in. And so with Mercury going direct, after this very long retrograde in Capricorn, we've had a lot of Capricorn energy. We're officially going to enter into Aquarius season. We're going to have Uranus go direct. We're going to have the new moon. So if you can stay in charge of your perspective, everything will begin to progress, and indeed everything will start to kind of come together. And so this energy this week, I feel, has a very powerful effect, especially for the twin flame connection, the twin flame collective. I have been feeling a lot of third eye awakenings within the divine masculine. And so when our third eye settles, when our third eye becomes centered, the atmosphere around us becomes lighter, less heavy. But independence is key when it comes to Aquarian energy, independence. And so you're likely picking up on some deep-seated memories, past life information. I feel a lot of the masculines have gone through a third eye activation recently. And so they're really being asked to pay attention, because there's a lot of soul memories coming through when it comes to these invaluable spiritual gifts that we're here to bring forward, that the two of us share together from our cosmic origin and so forth. And so a heightened week when it comes to our higher self's wisdom, and we're going to need to pay attention, because this wealth of information is bringing forward a lot of guidance and power in order to awaken us to get our situation right. And so the masculines are being required this week to let go of the struggles they've been holding on to in the karmic connections that are merely a reflection of the resentment and the anger that the masculine has refused to release. And so when we think of terms of energy, right, we are energetic beings. The twin flame connection is a mirror. And so these low vibrational frequencies, when we stay in them, we will attract more low vibrational people, lessons. And so as we shift into this energy of air, I think of truth that kept being shown, the Ace of Swords. There's going to be this massive shift, electricity, change. Aquarius is the water bearer. And so I think of Aquarian energy. I'm a South Node Aquarius. I'm also a 12th house Aquarius. And so I'm very strongly invested in my individuality, unorthodox ways of thinking, ideas. It's this out-of-the-box thinking. And I'm very much invested in teaching others how to step into freedom. And so Aquarian energy rules the starseed collective. And so with this new moon coming along with Uranus and Mercury direct, it's this allowance to start over. Are you ready to start over fresh? Because right now we're dissolving all of these twin flame illusions. We're being asked to release polarity dynamics, conflict, separation programming, and we are being asked to anchor into love and to know that we all have a soul of light and that we are all part of the bigger whole, the same whole. And so major lesson in separation. none of us are truly separate. Even when you connect the human design dots, we're all connected together through our human design, through our collective consciousness. And so to remember that on the soul level, that there is no such thing as separation, that's a very powerful lesson we kind of need to master on the journey. And so many twins get stuck when it comes to learning this lesson. And then we go through cycles of repeated physical world separation as our souls kind of wait for us to realize that this connection can never die, this connection can never end, and that your twin is always there with you at the soul level no matter what. And so we're not here to be two people opposing one another. We are one original soul divided into two human bodies. And so the twin flame journey is different than any regular 3D relationship. And so all of these added karmic issues need to come up with that mirroring energy in order to push us, right, to our highest potential. And so there's a lot of twin flame standard information out there that I feel fuels the problem rather than brings us into unity. There's a lot of false information out there that creates more opposition. And so when you're angry, when you're confused, when you're upset, or when you're focused on separation, ultimately you're telling the cosmos that you want more of it, right? And then we're pushing this separation energy back on ourselves, creating this distance. And so how do we find that solution, right? And so we have to go within. We have to detangle the karmic webbing, the deeper reasonings, the past life karma, the childhood trauma, and all of these factors that distort the dynamic between us and our divine masculine, and between us and God's source energy to begin with. And so I do feel the feminines are really being challenged with this Aquarian energy. I feel there's this huge spotlight this week when it comes to our relationships. And so the feminine collective, I feel, is being asked to learn to be okay standing on her own 2 feet. We have to be independent if we are to manifest interdependent unions. And so a big, big lesson for those who have incarnated as feminists this lifetime, or if you have this feminine dominance in your energy field, we do have to learn to stand alone. We have to learn to be independent and to prioritize our own self above anything else, and to master self-love. And so the feminine, when it comes to these collective energy fields, we carry within us karmic patterns collectively, right? Where we've been the caretaker, we've been responsible for others. We're always compelled to want to help others before helping ourselves, and throwing us into this state of martyrdom, self-sacrificing. And so there's been this heavy pressure, I know for myself, since my awakening, to learn to stand up for myself. And we teach people how to treat us. And so collectively, over the last several years, we've all been pressured from all of these cosmic energies to stand up for ourselves, right? And to deal with our own inner situations, our inner turmoil, and how these unorthodox patterns have really affected us, bringing forward negative experiences with others. And so I know I've been talking to a lot of people, well, texting, not really talking. And it seems to be unanimous. We've all been feeling like we've been running on empty. And so I do feel really taking the time to understand where you feel insecure, to create attachments. Where are you scared? Scared to be alone? There are far worse things than being alone. Where do you need to release shame? Because until we release fear, insecurities, shame, guilt, as we keep running from dealing with these issues, we're going to be running on empty, and we're going to keep attracting back all of these issues with different people. The same lesson, different person, until we clear these energies and cut through the fear, the shame, and the guilt, especially when it comes to twin flames. And so I feel this new moon in Aquarius. It's like this echoing chamber. Where are you lacking independence? Where are you lacking self-love? That's an important question to ask yourself. Where are you still longing for another to fulfill you? Because that can be quite desperate, right? And who wants to be surrounded in the energy of desperation? That's not very attractive, right? And so when we play into longing and needing and desperation, we're going to repel love, because all of those emotions are based in fear. And so when we get into this spiral of desperation, then we will get all tangled up in dramatic situations and all of these opposing forces. And that's not what we want, especially if you're asking the universe to deliver you love. And so have you been doing that? Have you been self-sabotaging? Because we do have the Sun conjunct Pluto this week. And this happened almost exactly a year ago on January 16th of 2022. And so we've been clearing these patterns for about a good year, especially when it comes to the Taurus Scorpio North Node axis. And so I do feel a lot of us in the collective are harnessing our true power. I also feel a lot of the masculines are being awakened to their true power. And I do feel a lot of primal energy. So I was shown Leo and Aries, Aquarius. And so you're going to want to watch your temper this week. I do feel a lot of angry sacred rage as truth comes to light. And so you're going to want to take note. Where have you been fighting with yourself? If you are surrounded by chaos and conflict and you're out of reality, you're basically in an internal war with yourself. So where have you been fighting with yourself? Where have you been putting yourself down, belittling yourself? And where have you allowed yourself to be dependent on another? What stories do you tell yourself about being small and helpless? We're not helpless, right? So in order to clear and release these energies for good, we do have to become aware of the patterns. And so the universe is pushing us into this higher state of potential. And all of these energies are the preparation stages for the twin flame union. And so we kind of got to uproot all of this old programming of separation. Survival is another big thing. The Five of Pentacles are showing me. And so when we operate out of survival mode, we're always operating out of lack. And so then we'll create more lack polarity in our lives. And so the twins came here to come together in unity in these higher states of consciousness, of togetherness, to open up these new higher timelines, to move into these new higher timelines. But we cannot do that unless we're coming from a place of love without attachment. And that's that Aquarian energy. Love without fear of losing something that you love. Love without negativity getting involved. And so what does your inner world look like? What does it look like? If you're still not feeling whole on your own or good enough on your own, then you got some work to do with it. And that's the bottom line. Before things can fall into place externally, we do have to do this inner work. And so with Uranus stationing direct for the first time after a long period of retrograde energy, Uranus brings change, a lot of massive changes. And with Uranus going direct, the universe is saying, go, step into this new experience. Step into this state of inner positivity and be willing to create the changes necessary in your life to align to these higher energies. And so we are here, Twin Flames came here to create change. And Uranus deals with change, right? Breaking free from traditions. It's been in Taurus. So Taurus, the Hierophant, traditions, institutions, governments, all of these things in our world that affect our experiences that we attract, right? And so Uranus is saying, have you done the inner work? What have you envisioned in your third eye? It's time to speak that into existence, because envisioning and speaking, These are two integral acts of co-creation, right? We have to envision it, we have to see it, we have to feel it, we have to speak it, and therefore we can create it. And so when we become aware of our co-creative powers through our words and our thoughts, spelling, casting spells, spelling, this is a major lesson for twin flames. Our words create worlds. And so I feel many of us are really being alerted to how powerful our mind is. We do have to be very mindful of how we communicate to the universe, how we communicate about ourselves, how we communicate about this connection. So how do we release the negativity? Write down, take time, write down all of your frustrations, write down how awful you feel about maybe your twin not giving a shit, not caring about you, or feeling like you're never going to have that union. Write it down, burn it, release it. Because the more you play into those energies, you're unfortunately creating more of that. And so what that says is you're aligning to more negativity. And that is a clear lesson that your inner world still needs to shift. You need to go within to figure out what needs to be resolved with these deeper causes, because nothing is out of our hands. And everything we speak into existence cements our reality. And so we have to clear and eradicate all of these negative thought processes. And so I do find it healing to journal, to write, and then maybe to burn it afterwards, to maybe get in touch with somebody local to have some energy clearing work done, or utilize your own spiritual tools to clear your energy. So, you know, stop complaining, stop reinforcing negativity, stop reinforcing what you don't want. And that's a powerful shift, I feel, for many of us. How can you create and attract what you want in the future differently than we've created in the past? What do you want to experience more of? And so when we fight the old, and we fight it and we fight it and we fight it, then we're really not creating the new. So instead of fighting the old, we're being asked to step into the new. So there's another energy of needing to release blame. Can't blame another for where you're at in your life. We've created this situation to begin with. And when you take accountability for your life, that is when things can shift. And so as long as we blame others, or we allow ourselves to stay stuck in a situation we know is not healthy, we are blocking our own energy, and we are blocking receiving help from our guides and the counterpart. And so the guides are always trying to grab our attention. We are really being asked to really live our divine path of union, and that does start with self. And it's okay to start over. It's okay to let yourself off the hook when it comes to this journey, especially if you're feeling hopeless or like things are never going to change. Work on purging those emotions. Work on purging the negative feelings, because deep down, we already know what kind of needs to be resolved. We just have to put that into action. So I'm going to pull some cards. I think my voice can handle pulling some cards. And we'll see what needs to come through for the week ahead for the collective. So I'm going to start off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. Look at that. Live your soul purpose, open to receive. And so clarity comes when we quiet the mind, when we go within and release all of these distractions, right? There's been a lot of thoughts flowing in, and we are being asked to release those negative thoughts. So where have you resisted stepping into your purpose? Because now is the time to embrace it and to demonstrate love and compassion. So we're going to see, I'm not going to separate the energies today. We're just going to see what needs to come through for the Twin Flame Collective. Sharing. So that's that energy of Mercury stationing direct. So I do feel the feminine would benefit from the masculine reaching out and sharing what he's recently learned, and what wisdom and knowledge has recently been attained, I feel, through that third eye awakening. We do have healing light and meditation practice and spend time alone. And so that's kind of where we're being asked to sit with right now, is that hermit energy, going within, meditating, opening up the communication lines to spirit, recentering our energies, quiet introspection. And I've definitely been in a lot of quiet introspection. And so when we surround ourselves in this healing light, then we can really step into loving compassion. I do feel many are leveling up with their intuitive psychic abilities. And you really need to trust in the messages that you've been receiving through your physical body, what you've been sensing, what you've been hearing intuitively, because I do feel the higher self is saying we're in this period of developing our abilities. And there's that Ace of Wands energy, igniting passions, and really getting rooted in what speaks to our heart. A lot of new creative ideas related to our work, I feel, has been coming through. So open to receive, because we are in a very powerful manifestation portal to attract into our lives what it is that we want. So what we think is what we create. So what is it that you want to create in your physical reality? Because your daily thoughts, your daily meditations, and your daily affirmations is what is going to allow that to come into your life. So get ready to purge some deep familial patterns, wounds, past life wounding. And I feel all of that purging really began at that Cancer full moon in order for us to fully identify these negative relationship patterns and to allow this healing and releasing. And so the divine is like, I'm in charge. Things don't always unfold according to our expectations. And that's a lesson we need to understand, that the divine is always orchestrating an effective, meaningful, long-term plan. So we got to stop trying to control the universe with this mental clutter, is another message. So we'll do some illumination. Look at that, children. Renewal, that was another message that came through really clearly, was domestic harmony, parenting and domestic harmony with the children, and renewal. So there's that phoenix from the ashes, revival energy, renewal. So those stuck karmic relationships, I do feel, are over. And it is a matter of integrating the distorted views of the ego, the shadow self. There will be major endings this week within the karmic relationship contracts in order to release the stuckness. And forgiveness came through. Walking away, missing you. So I do feel there is a lot of guilt and shame coming up from when the masculine walked away from you, turned his back on you. And I do feel there's a lot of regret and forgiveness. So I do feel the masculine does want to come forward and have a conversation, is looking for forgiveness. They want to spend some time with you because they have gone through a period of growth and expansion in that karmic attachment. And although they've been withholding, I do feel once the masculine releases that karmic attachment and accepts the ending, that is when major blessings can come forward for the counterparts. And I do feel the masculine's been waiting on the feminine to come into alignment. So we're going to grab some more oracle messages, and then we'll jump in with some tarot. So we get forgiveness and spirituality. So 96, that's the coming apart. 69 is the union, Cancer energy, the mother energy. So forgiveness. Big message this week. forgiveness, spirituality, and I do feel we really have been in this portal since the 7-7 gateway. And so 7 and 7 together add up to 14, which is karmic debt. It is associated with freedom and change. And so embracing our spirituality, we do have to reach a certain level of forgiveness, right? So we'll see what else needs to come through for the twins. Forgiveness in nature. You're really going to want to reconnect with Mother Earth this week to ground the lessons, the energies. So look at that. Forgiveness is a 96, which is the coming apart to come back together. 74 breaks down to 11. And so we are one with the earth. And so this really has been a journey about teaching and learning for many of us. So 57 breaks down to a 12, which is the energy of 3, which is Empress, manifestation, and rebirth. Look at that. You got nothing to worry about. There is a happy ending around the corner. And so there is a happy ending here. And I do feel we are completing these cycles. We are reaching the end of mastering these lessons. And there's that tower energy, the rebirth. So pay attention to music. I do feel a lot of telepathy has been coming through in music. Put on the music. Flow through the emotions with the music. Because there is a happy ending around the corner when it comes to these love partnerships, these unions, 26. Breaking down to an 8, which is the strength card. We're here to master our spiritual strength. We are here to step into power, leadership positions, benevolent power. So really trust in your intuition. This is a master number, right? Many of us are being guided through our intuition to embrace these relationship changes and to step into our individuality so we can harness these interdependent relationships and we can reach that level of karmic completion to embrace these changes. And I got to tell you, Divine Feminine, I know you've been patient and your hard work and perseverance is going to pay off. All right, I'm going to use the Wildwood Tarot today. The Star, the Seer reversed, and the Ten of Bows. So we got the High Priestess reversed and the Ten of Wands. So what was not seen is now being seen. Some type of revelation about what needs to be released, what's been a burden. Where have you lacked responsibility? Because we can't unsee once we see, right? So I think we're going to do recent past. The Two of Bows, needing to make a decision. The Two of Wands. We have the Star reversed and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. And so could be a huge missed opportunity here. But I do feel there's been this dark night of the soul energy, feeling helpless, hopeless, going through a layer of transformation in the dark in order to lay these new foundations for life. And so recent past, a decision was made to leave a faulty foundation behind, one that was rooted in shadowy matter, dark shrouded matter, and to reform a new foundation. And so I feel somebody's getting ready to come out blazing. There's definitely been a decision made in the recent past when it comes to these missed opportunities. And so the current situation going on right now is the Page of Arrows. So the Page of Swords in reversed. The Knight of Swords in reversed. The Five of Wands in reversed. And then we get the Queen of Arrows in upright, pardon me. And so the Queen of Swords is a truth speaker. Swans mate for life. I do feel as the feminine fully embodies her truth, speaks her truth. I do feel the masculine has to go through these challenging cycles to release this separation. I do feel there's been a lot of combative energy surrounding the masculine. And with the Page of Arrows in reversed and the Knight of Arrows in reversed, I feel there was likely some type of argument. I feel the masculine is feeling belittled, lacking empowerment. And there's the feminine, boom, in that truth, right? And so this is where the masculine is needing to take responsibility for his past actions. And he's likely experienced some type of altercation in order to release the false contract with the Two of Cups in reversed and the Three of Swords. And I do feel there's been a lot of jealousy and possessiveness being reflected to the masculine from the Karmic about what a foolish decision he made dealing with an Empress in reversed. Somebody very toxic, codependent, doesn't know her worth, doesn't know her value, and coming to terms with that third-party interference and taking responsibility for what it is that he's created, facing some challenges is what I'm feeling. So we're going to see current energy and emotions coming through this week for the twins. The Mirror. Wow. We get the Emperor in reversed and the Mirror. So that's confirmation of mirror, mirror on the wall. So the feminine has mirrored back to the masculine this karmic entanglement. And I do feel, that's that fall from grace. I do feel the masculine is deep in a state of boredom, discontent, missing out on the feminine's love, Four of Cups. And so, it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. And I do feel a major wake-up call. With the moon reversed, Cancer energy, water energy, coming out of that illusion has created the death of the ego. And so coming out of the guilt, the shame, the remorse, and the guilt in order to experience this ecstasy of home with the feminine. And so I do feel the waters of life have been purging in the masculine's life with the Ace of Cups in reversed and the Four of Stones. I do feel the masculine is protected as he goes through this rebirth process. So we're going to see a surprise from the universe this week. Yeah, so I think a very emotional conversation about building a new foundation is what I'm feeling. We get the Bear and the Seven of Bows in reversed. So what I just heard was clearance. Clearance to come forward. Clearance to take action. The Great Bear is the Wheel of Fortune. Clearance to move forward. Blocks being removed. And I do feel the King of Bows, the King of Wands. That is that visionary leader. And he is coming untangled from all of those snakes that he has been dealing with. Let's get an overall energy for the week ahead. Two of Arrows. Righting the past injustices, going forward in blind faith. That the universe is making things right. Twos are all about decisions And I don't think you're going to see this reunion coming. The Six of Cups. There was an injustice with the counterparts. And I do feel there is going to be a major ending in the false contract because the ancestors are encouraging this healing of traditions. And so I do feel there's been a lot of mourning recently, a lot of grief, a lot of sadness as this remembrance washes over many in the collective. So we're going to get a closing message from Spirit. Adopt a healthy state of mind, free from illusion, clutter, or any negative influences. Stay in positive vibration, guys. And that will bring more of that into your life. And I'm about to lose my voice, so we'll just get a closing message from Spirit, please. Keep a journal. So a confirmation of what I channeled. Keep a journal of your dreams, your thoughts, any epiphanies. Journal. And honor your vessel. Honor your body, your mind, your soul. You're being asked to take better care of your mind, your body, and your soul this week. So honor the sacredness of the journey, your life, and be ready to release a karmic situation that really is not worthy of your time anymore. Releasing karmic circumstances, releasing worry, and taking time to reconnect. I do feel a week of reconnections, going into the heart space, and a week of communication. So follow the signs, follow the synchronicities, know what you're thinking about when they appear, and understand that this twin flame connection served a purpose, right? To teach us something very important about who we are, to teach us how to release these unhealthy situations and these obsessive thought patterns, and how to make healthy decisions when it comes to choosing people that do love and support us, and releasing those that belittle us, make us feel small, depleted, dissatisfied. Because if you don't leave these karmic situations on your own, you're in for a rude awakening this week. So get ready to see things in a whole new light. And get ready to be really emotionally vulnerable this week. And that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading, check out the description box below. I am booking clients in again. I actually have a pretty full week. I will be attending the New Moon Market this Friday evening from 5 till 10 at Sadie Hall in town. Come on out and join us all. I will be doing new moon mini readings, and I will be selling my crystals, my jewelry, and my candles. If you can come out, I would love to see you all out there. I hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.